welcome to your soul guidance reading for the 7th of July up to the 13th of July. Now we've just are going through, transitioning through the eclipse. In fact, I'm recording this today in London from GMT time of, the eclipse would have been at 5:43 a.m. So the eclipse vibe, should I say, is very much present and has been for many sort of days beforehand. And we've had, this is a third eclipse, so this is very much the culmination of lots of things karmically as well as for people moving on. Now I've been doing these readings for the last few weeks and it's quite interesting how they mirror some of the energy that's going up in the skies, and this is a collective reading as well as a personal reading for you individually, so anyone watching, hopefully this reading will resonate with you today. Last week we finished with the idea that was to remain open and to be sort of childlike in your openness, and with it being childlike in essence, that is not to judge. You're free to love and actually sort of be expansive in your approach to life. And some of you might have already had some news or some possibilities that's arisen that has come out of nowhere, where you might feel that you just sort of need to let go and let go of any grip and just really kind of come from a place of innocence. The letting go is also very much the eclipse theme. So I find that last week again we had the Sacred Path card that ended up on the release, which is also letting things go, both emotionally, any mental negative thinking. And today, and wherever you are in the world, it could have been the 4th of July for some of you, that doing a ritual of an act of actually writing, burning, or anything that can signify any release will be an absolutely fantastic thing to venture yourself into the new. Okay. And that also includes anything that you might not need anymore. So continue with that as we move in to the new energy. So the cards, I already laid them down, as you might know. Some of you have been following me each week. And I have chosen to start with the Osho Zen Tarot. Okay, and the card that fell out first was the card of understanding. But this is how I'm going to interpret the card. Okay. Basically, you can see the bird wanting to look out, or looking out of this sort of barred, sort of jail bird kind of thing, and basically caged in. Now there's no cage door, if you can see. It's not even in the picture whatsoever. So I feel like for some, there are definitely an opportunity where you're going to be starting to look out and see where you belong and what is actually coming in. There's going to be a lot of flurry of activity and energy that's surrounding you, and I feel that in some way that something very clearly is going to come towards you that is going to draw your attention towards it. Okay, this could be a tribe, this could be actually a new community, this could be some ideas that you've been actually sort of thinking about and that's been flowing around in your mind, but there'll be one or two key ones that are actually going to stand out. All right, this is very much a time for you to release yourself from any old thinking and anything that's held you back. And it is now time to be fluttering your wings, if you like, and start actually venturing out and being brave enough, and also having the courage and having the strength to do so. Okay, very important as well, that you come out of your mind and almost releasing. And I feel that with the second card actually is the mind card from the Osho Zen, which tells me that a lot of you have released the overthinking mind. Okay, there's a lot to do with last week as well. We had some cards really getting into kind of meditation, getting into sort of sense of self, connecting with your third eye, and in doing so you can actually release a lot of that noise. If you look at the card, there's a lot of activity at the top there. And for me, this card coming out as inverted tells me that actually you're releasing the barriers of too much thinking. And if you notice that you're thinking a lot and overthinking ahead, the idea is to actually bury those thoughts, just to ignore them, and to start actually being still and allowing the truth of the moment to be present. Okay, you are possibly going to be speaking your mind, and also allowing yourself to be speaking your truth. Yeah, so that's something to do with that. And I feel that in connection to the first card as well, it is really important that you actually have the clarity to know which way you want to go, and also to be able to express yourself or not express yourself, as the case might be. Perhaps you're in a position before that maybe you would actually approach somebody or speak to somebody, or having to pull somebody up quite a lot about what they're doing, what they're not doing, and now you've come to the point that you're not overthinking it anymore, and you're actually going to just allow things to be as they are, take a step back and just allow yourself to sort of just be still and not be in your mind too much. It's also, the week is going to bring an element of needing to ground certain things. So again, coming back to the first card, where I think there's lots of ideas, lots of new opportunities, it is really important that the grounding happens. So definitely going out in nature. So most of you who might get to know me, and those who know me, I'm a massive advocate for nature, and really nature is the key for a lot of healing, a lot of grounding, and for a lot of new ideas to start sprouting from. If the weather permitting, just allow yourself to take walks or actually sit in nature and start noticing what thoughts are coming up. So this is not an overthinking mind, but rather one that is coming out from the tranquility and the quietness of out and being in nature. You could actually be inspired by listening to some elements from nature as well. So it doesn't have to be, so if it's raining where you are, you might want to put some music on from YouTube or something like that, where you can actually have some birds or some water or anything to do with feeling your way through into a sense of quiet, reflective attitude. Okay, I also feel for some of you this will be definitely also, again, grounding the thoughts that could be swimming around. Okay, I feel that in many ways there's a lot of opportunities that could be coming in. You've been maybe manifesting, thinking things. The eclipse is actually taking us into a new trajectory, and this could be a really good opportunity for taking, this is an inverted card, but I read it both ways, but this is the actual upright card in the Osho Zen. You can see a small figure actually taking a walk. This is also the 8 of coins, so I feel like in some way you're looking at the finer details and perhaps seeing what you can build and what you can construct. All right, to build the foundation on some kind of strength, something that's going to take you afar. Yes, this is not something that's going to be an immediate gratification, but something that's going to take you further afield and in possibly even in a new direction, a direction you can't actually see clearly, but you definitely have a sense for. The week finishes, or rather the 4 cards, well, in fact, there's 5 because this transformation card actually popped out with this card. So I feel in some way, some of you are definitely moving through a transformation, but some of you still need to do a tiny bit more work for really to cut the debris of the past, okay? Sometimes we tend to hold on to things, hold on to thinking, hold on to ideas, hold on to projects that's no longer required. But it does take time sometimes to cut through. So do get into a sense of reflection, like I said, by going into nature, asking for the stillness, asking for the voice of truth to give you the clarity that you need, so you can actually see what needs to go, what needs to stay, what needs to be cut out. This is very much a shedding of a skin, and the eclipse, for some of you again who's done the work, this impact would have already occurred, and you'd feeling a great difference in your resonance and in your energy space. And for many of you, there could be also a new sense of emotional, sort of heartfelt passion. It could be a literal physical passion with someone, but also a physical or a passionate encounter of possible exciting project, which could actually, like I said to you before, take you afar or start having you rise from a position of perhaps where you have felt you were stuck. Okay, so this is actually really good, and this will feel like a sense of transformation. So this is really quite amazing, and it does finish also with an amazing tone, because the creativity is really calling. Okay, we end with the Osho card of the upright Empress. This is the card of creativity. This is allowing all the elements of your insight, your power, your heart, your sense of creativity, your sense of truth, to be part of the canvas of a new dawning, if you like. Okay, this also indicates that some of you are able to reach out and far and start honoring the truth of your heartfelt passions. This has been a long time coming for many. Okay, and in some way this is really about letting the emotions go from the past, to really let them go. If you're still feeling some emotions, let them flow. But like I said, this is a really good time. The energy of the eclipse, currently the immediate energy. So by the time this is uploaded on the Tuesday or for Tuesday, this week particularly, it is still a very good time to release whatever hasn't been released and really sort of get into the vibe of transforming this up to that, where you can actually be really rising as well. But I feel there's some residue of emotion, or definitely an essence of going with the flow and letting the creative flow to come to you. Okay, again, there might be some possible ideas that could be swirling around your mind, and it's a really good time to get them embodied and see what works and what doesn't work. Some of you have lots of inspiration as well, sparks of inspiration, to allow that to be grounded and see where you can actually allow them to bloom. All right, so again, anyone who works with any kind of modality to do with any kind of chakra work or energy work, this is a constant, and the more you do it, the more you will actually activate the truth of your creativity and where you need to go on your path. All right, so okay, so I pulled some clarifier cards from the Energy Oracle deck as well, from by Sandra and Taylor, which are the cards that look like this. Okay, now the first card that actually opened up underneath as a clarifier as well is the Angel of Strength, and I think this is a really wonderful card to be complementing this. So whatever may be coming at you or towards you and you're not actually certain, call on the Angel of Strength to give you the strength, to give you the clarity you need. And I think this is also more to do with your central core power. All right, we are all being called now to really look at life and get the clarity from the sense of power, rather than actually sort of embodied power, rather than actually just the thinking power. And the Angel of Strength is definitely here to give us a push, to give us a hand, and to give us the absolute clarity towards the vision and towards our core truth of where we might want to be going. This is really, really good. And for some as well, this could be actually really holding on to the fear as well. This reminds me of the standard Rider-Waite cards, or any tarot that has a very similar nature to the Strength card, which also where there's a lion, okay, which is taming the lion. So this is also about taming your thinking, taming the fact that you might think that you haven't got the power to do it, maybe taming the fears that you might have towards somebody or something that you think you might be afraid of, actually letting go of the old. This is definitely very much about releasing the old kind of experiences. Whatever experiences has led us to this is actually now opening up for the new. Okay, and this is where we need to actually bring our compassionate heart and our understanding, possibly some apology to ourselves or to another as well, to be able to move forward and to release. Okay, trust that whatever is coming to you is calling you, and you do have the strength to actually move towards it. And I feel for some reason I've just got sky's the limit as well. So for some of you, there is a really expansive sense of new beginnings, and maybe beginnings that you can't actually see yet, but it's very much there. Okay, now also, again, it's really important that we go back into our hearts to release anything that has been caged. So if you are one of those people that through past experiences have experienced some hurt or a break, not a breakup, but a heartbreak rather, this is a really time now to unlock. I feel like you've done the work, you have done and looked into your heart, you have come to a place of stillness and peace with whatever has been going on, and it is really now to open your heart to new possibilities and possibly a new door to romance. Okay, so this could be very much the energy, which might also require you some strength. All right, and in fact, in some way, this person who could, because there is very much an element of love in this card reading for me, and there could be also whoever's sort of unexpectedly flying in, to be really open to the opportunity and not to hold yourself back, and be open to the calling, opening to the messages, and opening to what you feel. Okay, and even if you kind of feel that, kind of somewhat nervous and thinking, oh, I don't know if I can, or you're being in your head about it, as you know, you can actually just stop right there and be in the moment and just allow yourself to fully engage and not allow the old story to take over. It is again really important for me to tell you that in this instance, that again, being out in nature and doing anything that heals yourself on a day-to-day basis, that you can keep yourself tranquil and just allowing the new passions, new news about love, new possible news about anything that you've kind of been calling in on the things that you love as well. So this could be also, some of you have been very conscious about what you wanted to bring in terms of what you love to do, what you don't want to love to do anymore, and then leaving those behind. Okay, I feel that that the doors are opening. Definitely new opportunities are coming through. You might not be able to see, like I already said, the full vision of where you're going, but there is a new opening and a new beckoning, and for some it could even be more than one option. All right, anything else I want to sort of say about this? Allow things to be revealed to you as well, and not to be afraid to walk through, rather, not walk out. Well, definitely walking out of an old story and walking through to a new opportunity, a new door. Okay, this is very much, again, supported by the energy of the eclipse, that we are going towards things that are loving to us, nurturing to us, and really putting the end to anything that has actually not supported us, kept us grounded, and also had us be true. So whatever kind of tribal law or old past stories that's been passed from your family or anything like that as well, it is now to actually release, to open the doorway to your new truth and be in congruence and alignment to that. Okay, and that will what will bring also your kind of personal romance to yourself. Okay, love also is not just an external factor, but more importantly, as you know, an internal factor, and that door to your self-love, door to romancing yourself, will really bring the transformation, which is sort of sits right next to it as well. In doing that as well, I think there's going to be major clarity. Again, we're not going too much into the mind, because we've got this card of indecision. And it's actually in the inverted, which tells me that the path will be very clear for a lot of you, okay, especially if you've really worked on being open to the miracles, which is what we talked about last week, and actually remaining attached to anything that might come in terms of results, and more importantly, actually releasing the old. So the path will be very apparent, okay, and it'll be very clear. Rather than being in this decision, you will know, you will be guided. There'll be a path that will be pulling you, okay. For those who are haven't been not in a place just immediately, possibly not maybe this week, if you're not in that place, be forewarned that you'll be actually being given an opportunity that you will know that you must go down, and no matter what reservations you might have, you know, because you can't see all the details, by leaving the past behind, by turning your back to the past. Okay, I mean, I've got this figure, the card upright. You can see she's wearing a cloak, and she's got her back to, you know, in the picture, which means you're not actually looking back, you're just looking forward. But while this card actually is kind of the card of indecision, in the inverted, it's telling me that you basically are able to you just know which route to take. It may require some strength as well, getting over some fear from the past, or maybe some past hurts you've had, maybe some past experiences that you've gained. And while past experiences are really great, it's important not to allow them to hinder your movement forward, and being open to new possibilities, and a new dawning, if you like, a new possible path to love. Okay, and that path to love is not only a physical relationship love, personal love, but it could be also love towards a particular calling, a career choice, choices that you make, okay, and maybe even some kind of material things that just go for it. Do not talk yourself out. Okay, I know with in Mercury retrograde, but be mindful in terms of, if you need to decide and take your time to decide, just keep on being in touch with your inner nature and your actual physical nature outdoors, where you'll find that you're able to make the decision and get the clarity. But I personally think actually this is as clear as day, and you're going to get a pull towards something or somebody undeniably. Okay, now another amazing card to go with the creativity card, which is a clarifier, is the card of blossoming. So this is a real chance for something to blossom. Again, the new opportunities, the new possibilities, the new love that could be entering for some of you, to really cultivate on it, okay, to take your time. And notice that each of these beautiful flowers and you know, things that are growing out in nature are all unique. All right, so to be open to each and every possible opportunity and recognize each one for its own beauty as well. Okay, so in some way you might have not actually known. I think whatever it is you're going towards is also going to give you some financial reward or some material abundance. So again, if it's a new partnership, this could definitely open up to a possible great financial abundance in the future. It may need cultivating, but I do feel that it is a very, very bright situation that you are going towards. Now, while this reading is for the week, I just feel as well that whatever we sow now, and particularly with the eclipse as well, the eclipse energy has a 6 month energetic field. So whatever's going on here, for some it's going to be absolutely great, and for some of it it's going to be maybe a bit of a shocker, you know, somehow, because yeah, you know, a shock could be a positive shock as well, of course, but it could be a really negative shock. And I think for me, it really determined what you cultivated in the past, what kind of karma you invested in, how did you play out? Were you somebody quite negative and actually kind of always going towards the negative actions and towards a way of being? You know, have you cheated somebody? Have you constantly lied? Or have you done something sort of negative? And if that's the case, then unfortunately there will be cases that will be showing up. But for me, generally this reading is an incredibly positive one, and it really does say that there's going to be some blossoming. Something, again, you can't see clearly yet, but I feel that there's definitely some great promise to come, okay? And to wait with a sense of maturity without actually hurrying it as well. All right, nature has its own course of letting things grow and letting things blossom. But actually knowing that there's an opportunity for something to blossom is where it's really, really lovely, because in that way you can actually be with what is right there. All right, so moving on, I'm just going to quick look at the bottom of the deck here. Okay, so some of you have definitely been putting out some possibilities about new romance, new ideas, and a new story. Okay, you've been dreaming up a new story, and again moving towards a new tribe or new potential in a new community. All right, again, this has been happened from the healing that you've done. I feel that this is not so much the healing that needs to happen, but more it's to do with the heart chakra opening, and you're actually now therefore calling in the people who can actually really meet you and hold you and actually support you in every way that you might have actually really wished and hoped for. Yeah, again, be open to what could be coming in, and be open to the adventure that lies ahead. Okay, sometimes we want to fill all the bits and get some kind of guarantee. Okay. And the cards inform me, and also really it's about life as well. And even as a card reader, there are times that we really need to just live into the mystery of it, but knowing that the energy is very positive and move towards a new life. Again, we can see here at the bottom of the deck for the energy oracle card, again, she can't see her way forward yet. Again, some of you may be getting a contract and you're having to weigh up the pros and cons. You might have to do some research towards maybe a new offering. But make sure you are talking it out, okay? Be clear in your communication so you can find out what the deal is, exactly what the situation is, and if it's you finding out possibly something about somebody else, really kind of pledge your truth into actually being really true and communicate, okay? So there's nothing hidden and everything is open. All right, let me just have a quick look at these bottom cards as well. All right, yeah, some new opportunities are definitely coming. If some doors have been closed, or you're actually technically closing some doors, there are more opening. And this has been, like I said, you know, I feel like this is, for some of us, you know, something that's really been, this is a healer of ages, but I can't help but feel this is something that's been due for ages, you know, personally, that you've really done the work. You've been really healing for a long time. You know, maybe the way showerers, the people who've been on the path, you have been working on your core, and now it is time to receive your good. So do not be surprised if so many possibilities could be arising. Stay grounded and really make a choice, because whatever might not open up, there is definitely new openings. So kind of watch your life space. If you need some direction and some more clarity, I've got here 6th chakra archangel Metatron. okay, which is also to do with your third eye. All right, so again, very similar to last week, keep meditating, or at least keep your focus on your third eye. So your third eye is directing you towards the path you want. Your inner knowing resides there. Trust it. You can hear clearly, you can think clearly, and you'll receive the messages. And by calling on also Metatron, who is the archangel for Metatron, sorry, for the angel, the energy oracle card, he is there to guide you, okay? Trust it. Even if you don't believe in guardian angels or the energy field, be open to receive what you need to know, and you shall be guided. You can also be wearing the color blue to assist you with that as well. Very much a time now to whatever you decide to actually, I've got here the magician of the mirror. In the mirror, I'm just looking at this, and what I'm picking up is whatever, it's like the inside outside, the inside, you know, on the outside in. So whatever you're actually healing from the inside is actually going to be mirrored in the outside. Now that's going to be really apparent. It's as if the veil's been lifted, and the connection, if you like, from the divine or from spirit is so much more clear, as in faster, if you like, that there's going to be almost a thought, boom, and something coming in for some of you, okay? So be open to that. Yeah. And then, you know, you can be wearing, if you like, you know, wear some amulet or something that has significance to you as well at this time, to hold on to your power, to call in the power, and anything that has that kind of connotation for you will be a really good time at this time as we're guided forward, okay? For some reason my eyes gone to what he's wearing around the neck. There's a lot of wisdom, lots of ancestral spirit, any talisman, any kind of this is actually, I have one, this is kind of, I wouldn't say rosary beads, but the beading, I can't even think of the word it is, but this was from my grandmother, and this is my mother's, and we've rethreaded it twice. And it's something that I hold on to, and it's my kind of talisman, but it's a really good time to have something like that. So you're really attuned to what is important, and calling in different spirit and allies to support you through this change. Like I said, I do feel that there is going to be a veil lifting and a divine connection. Okay, this is sort of kind of, I'll say the backstory, but a few more cards to allow for something, for the clarity, if you like. Okay, so be mindful if you can't see your way through yet, which is, you know, pretty much, I think, quite clear. Try not to get overthinking about it, but trust, and then also definitely communicate with anybody or any new contracts you might be talking about, particularly while we're in Mercury retrograde. But if you're embarking in a new partnership or new romance or new possibilities of any kind, even projects with anybody, be clear on what you can do, what you can't do, what you're not willing to do, what you're able to do, and have that be written, if you like, or at the very least understood. Okay. Now I've decided to bring in a new card in today. This is from the Vibrational Healing Cards. Okay, I've had this for absolutely years and years and years. And it is actually by Rowena Patty Crider. She's actually she's not alive anymore, and she was this incredible pioneer from way back when, where she was able to align the sense of spiritual healing and the consciousness with the energy vibration and geometry as well. Okay, she's just way ahead of herself, as in not way ahead of herself, but way ahead of the times. Okay, she was very into sacred ground, sacred space, sacred destiny, and has had, she was just one of these early healers that has transcended a lot of the mundane, and has created her own cards. I've got another deck by her as well. But if anybody's interested, you might more than welcome to check her out. Rowena Patty Crider, and she's got a PhD, but she's no longer living. Anyway, I decided, as we're moving to this new time, you know, through the new shift of a different energy to do with the nodes as well. So collectively we're moving through. Now I really personally feel, I think this is very apt. And the card, when I'm shuffling, a card throughout, so I've decided to take it. Okay, and this is a beautiful card. Her cards are all about matrices, and there are vibrational healing cards. So there are come in different colors, and by actually looking at the image and really focusing on it, you can actually invoke the healing vibration energy of the card. Now, there are 2 points, polar opposites, if you like, or polarities on this card. Okay, so I was saying, apologize, I don't know why the camera does that. I need to get some coaching on this camera, but nevertheless, concentrating back on this card, as you can see, the image is amazing. So if you just focus on it for a moment, the message I got for this was, be who you are and follow the path to your truth, which is essentially what really this quest card is. Okay, this is about, there's lots out there, there's lots of different paths to wholeness. There's many different ways to get to your inner truth, and it is really important now that despite what people are possibly pushing onto you or wanting to impart to you, or insist that that way is the right way, which could actually really be happening as well with the Sagittarius, is that North Node or South Node? No, I think with North Node Gemini. So, which is really much about being quite dogmatic, or insist that this is my way or the highway kind of attitude, you know, or there's only this one way. All right, now if somebody is going to impose their thoughts or the kind of spiritual attitude or ethos or philosophy, and you know that for you that is not how it resonates, hold your power and be really true to yourself and be who you are, and follow the path to your truth. Okay, there are, like I said, many paths to wholeness, and I really feel that this week and beyond, it is really important to recognize that and to hold on to that and be in the know of that possibility. Okay, that your truth, there's no path, there's not only the one path. All right. Now the other card also, another deck I wanted to bring in, which I have done before, is the Sacred Rebel card. And the card that popped out is, okay, I mentioned it interestingly enough, and it is called the shock of the new. So like I said, there is definitely something new coming in for some of you. Okay, it could be something completely taking you by surprise, unexpected, you didn't see coming. Yeah, you might have thought about it, but you certainly didn't see it coming, and it is going to be very positive, as you can see from the flowers on the side, on the sunflowers, or making a lot of noise on the other side, so maybe not so positive. But I can't help but feeling for many of you it will be positive. The most important thing here is you actually follow your truth from your heart and speak your truth as well. And if you need to get some clarity about this, make sure that you communicate. Okay, this is almost a repetition of the message that I've covered already in the general spread, so I'm not going to really repeat myself over and over again. Yeah, so there's definitely been some eye-opening, unexpected situation that has come up. All right, that is also going to actually take you to new horizons, and not to be afraid to venture out into this new possibility. All right, so this is really, really fantastic. What I tend to do is do the reading for some, this is still quite new, so I don't exactly have major people watching this, the regular readings, but I will possibly continue to be opening an energy card. Okay, and I'll actually read the affirmation for this as well. Okay, yeah, so basically it's like what I said, be who you are and follow the path to your truth. And her affirmation here is, all my longings converge towards understanding myself. Okay, which is actually, you know, to be who you are, you must follow the path to your truth. Path to your truth. I was actually showing you what I'd sketched out, so that's what I wrote earlier, and it was a quick scribble. And when I say follow the path to your truth, that is it. That's your truth. You're knowing yourself. It is really important that we do this at this time and beyond. Okay, it's no more time for being asleep. It's waking up, making a decision to actually go towards what you believe to be true, be it a spiritual practice, some kind of way of living, and whatever it is your life. Okay, there'll be people who mean well, who will sort of you know, bring their thoughts or their ideas about what they think or how you should approach things or do, and you just trust and stay on your truth. And that is the point where it's most important that you do that, because it is very easy to hand your power over to what somebody just by innocently recommending that you need to do or suggest doing, or it says something very flippantly without even realizing, because it's just in a conversation, and yet it could actually have it could actually affect the way you approach yourself. You might have had an idea about doing something and somebody tells you to do it in a certain way. Hold your own. This is really, really important. Okay, so is there anything else I want to add? No. Here. Oh. So I'm having a quick look at the shock of the new. If there's anything I want to pick up from this card that I haven't. Yeah, it says here, trust in your imagination, as subtle or as wild as it is. So it's something you actually want to visualize or call in as well. Let it speak to you. Okay, do not censor yourself. Do not let your thoughts be censored, or maybe the ideas that you've had about doing something be censored by you or by another interfering. Really, really important. Okay, it says after you've played with your imaginings for a few moments, complete your healing process with a declaration of intention. So do intend what it is that you want, and know that you are being supported. All right, and again, this also tells me that if you do get something really great or shocking in terms of that takes you by surprise, it says here, I am supported through the shock of the new. I accept the beauty in all that is foreign or strange to me, as I know it's bringing me new gifts, wisdom, life experiences, and creative inspiration through unconditional love. So be it. All right. So I'm just going to move quickly on to the surrender cards. I've already shuffled them, and I split them into 3, but I'm just going to give them a quick shuffle as I do. Okay, we've got 2 that came out. What is it? Wow. Okay. All right. The first one is both of them. Okay, for some of you this could also be here, surrender to your addictions. Okay, surrender not to your addictions, beg your pardon, surrender your addictions. Whether you're addicted to substances, food, people, sex, or anything like that, take action to begin to heal. So again, if some of you actually maybe have a new romance coming in, you know, tendencies to run towards it or start overthinking and start sort of wanting to sort of get involved too much too soon, or do anything that is somehow, you know, or you're recognizing, okay, maybe it is about time to recognize that you can actually work towards a healthier alternative. Alternatively, it could also be telling me right now that despite the fact that it says surrender your addictions, that through doing the work or having done the work, and those who have done the work, that actually you're noticing that you're able to surrender your addictions towards overworking, sex or food or anything like that, and you're noticing a much healthier approach to a situation, and actually making changes in the life in yourself towards the way it used to behave. So that is really great. I think that there is messages for both directions here in terms of the addiction. So some of you, those who are actually not quite done the transformation or not quite done the healing yet, okay, are quite sort of gone up that way, do pay attention, and you might be on the very pinnacle or very close to actually be able to make those changes, and this is inviting you. The shock of the new could be like some news and suddenly go into your head about it, or you want to actually you know, do something, get into a flurry and stuff. Take your time, think about taking healthier alternatives, all right, or just be still and get to know. This is the other thing now as well, which is actually, I think, really great, is surrender to what is. Okay, flow with what is instead of fighting, which is also, again, I think this is, you know, if something comes in that you weren't expecting, just go with it. all right? Just go with what you feel, just go with what is happening around you. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accept exactly where it's at, so it will bring you peace. All right? And again, this could also be about people around you, not actually sort of going along with what you've asked them. It could be to do with anybody that you might have wanted, and now you're really at your end of tether of getting a result, or getting you're wanting to force a situation, say. But again, if you just flow with it, okay, do not fight what's happening, do not fight what is not showing up, or showing up rather as well. Okay, so you could want something to show up but it's not showing up, so be with it. Okay, and I'm for some reason thinking more about particular people that could be around you in your life that could be frustrating you. So rather than being frustrated, you can't change that situation, and just recognize that in order to actually be with what is this week particularly, yeah, here look, surrender frustration. So I did think that. I think some people are still experiencing people around, you know, there is some old stuff that's not actually been released fully yet. So try not to get frustrated about the situation, all right? Or if you're actually waiting for something to happen as well, while all this is going on and there's opportunities for new frustrations to go, do not get into your head about it, all right? So again, some of you could be still stuck in that dynamic. Try and stay with allowing the frustrations to be buried. So the key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself and regroup so you may approach the situation more calmly. So again, if there's anything that's coming up, because eclipse can do that as well, you might suddenly find that you get some news that you weren't expecting. Okay, it could be to do with losing a home, or having to move out, or I don't know, I couldn't even tell you, but there could be so many possibilities. So whatever it is, yes, okay. Now, I will just shuffle the soul purpose cards, and I've got 3 that popped out, so I'm just going to very quickly go through the three. Really important at this point as well that you honor your health, all right, to keep yourself healthy as there's lots of changes going through. Be mindful of what you're putting through in your mouth, what you're drinking, how much of whatever you're doing. You know, start getting your health back in check. Start doing some physical exercise, anything that will honor the physical body of yourself. Okay, if you're overindulging, again, if some of you are still being in addictions, all right, you really want to bring your awareness towards health, okay, and call in the power of self-care so you can really attend to your body, your soul and your mind very much as well. I think that, again, this card, the purpose card, we've had this one a couple of weeks ago. Some of you will definitely be guided towards a purpose, or that'll become much clearer. And if you can't see anything fully yet, just trust that you're on purpose and what you're here to do will be known to you. All right, and for those that are beginning to feel the first flurries of a possibility of a new path opening, be secure in the knowing, have the strength to know that your purpose by calling in the angel strength, and do not be afraid to put yourself out there and show yourself out to the world. All right, finally we got this card, I think last week rather, and this is lastly but not least as well. Okay, gratitude. I am thankful for this life and the opportunity that it presents. So be thankful for whatever has come, whatever you're letting go, which is very much the eclipse season. So keep on doing the rituals, whatever you need to do. And the ritual is about letting go with thanks, okay, which brings new opportunities to be grateful for, new people to be grateful for, and just to be grateful with all that you have. Any of the opportunities are presenting themselves and what you have. All right, so I'm going to finish here today. It was quite a dynamic reading. There's lots going on. I will always take a photograph of the photo image as well, so you can actually have a look on the screen, which will be up on YouTube, and often also on my Instagram as well, so you can join my Instagram. The link is below, and you can actually have a look at the cards and maybe even find yourself looking at that and maybe picking up what you might read that relates to you and resonates for you with the cards that you're looking at. Okay, so thank you for watching, thank you for listening. I will be posting hopefully one next week. I wasn't quite sure if I was going to be around, but so far, so as I know, I will still be around. I did wonder if there should be a monthly one, only because I was I might have an opportunity that's going to take me away for the month. So yes, we don't know. But that said, go with the flow, you know, and see what comes in, and allow yourself to live in the moment. And yeah, all the details are below. If you've got any donations or you'd like to make some donations, I'll most appreciate it. Otherwise, all my services and everything else are in the description box. And you can find me also on the weekly Ask Rafah, where your problems are answered, and that is uploaded and released by Thursday every week. Thanks for watching again. Have a great week, loads of love, and really enjoy the eclipse. And if the eclipse is quite a hard one for you, just trust that it's serving your growth, and all is well and will be well. Thanks for watching. Bye. Bye-bye for now.